Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to express my sincere gratitude and warmest welcome to everyone joining us in Villa Durante, our beautiful chancellery of the United Arab Emirates Embassy, and a warm welcome to all viewers who are watching this event live. Let me also convey a particular thanks to the Diplomacy Festival who invited the United Arab Emirates as guest country for its 12th edition and made this event possible. Today, we celebrate together the international event that, better than any other, embodies the beginning of a renewed willingness of the human beings to connect, to share, to move forward after the global crisis that hit all of us due to the COVID-19 pandemic. This event is Expo Dubai 2020, launched on the 1st of this month, and in this occasion, let me borrow the words of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi, when he said, "As Expo 2020 Dubai begins, we look forward to experiencing the diverse cultures and innovations of all countries taking part. This event is a unique opportunity to showcase areas for growth and development and explore solutions to the world's most pressing challenges. Today, we also celebrate the Italian participation at Expo Dubai, which is one of the strongest indeed, with 70 institutional partners, more than 50 sponsoring companies, 15 regions, and 30 universities, and proven by the fact that the pavilion has already been awarded for the Best Commercial Project of the Year prize at the prestigious Constructions Innovations Awards in the UAE. Furthermore, the Italian Pavilion has put a tremendous agenda of events during the whole 6 months, which testifies how much Italy assesses Expo Dubai as an international platform to showcase and relaunch its activities worldwide. So I would like to make a big in bocca al lupo to the Italian participation at Expo Dubai and to my friend, the General Commissioner, who has done a great job. But please, let me take the chance today to give a brief perspective of the United Arab Emirates even after Expo Dubai, as our country celebrates this year the 50 years jubilee. And in this occasion, the leaders have launched a vision for the next 50 years with a series of grand projects today that will usher the next phase of growth for the country. One of them was announced just a few days ago by His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, Vice President and Prime Minister of the United Arab Emirates and ruler of Dubai, with a new space mission to explore Venus and the asteroid belt in our solar system. The UAE also announced last week its goal to achieve climate neutrality by 2050 by investing more than 140 billion euros in clean and renewable energy until 2050, and will play its global role in combating climate change. These are just two examples among dozens of initiatives that aim to make the UAE a pioneer country in sustainable development, progress, and innovation. In conclusion, I would like to make my best wishes for the 12th edition of Diplomacy Festival and to all the participants today at this panel, and hopefully to see you all visiting Dubai Expo in the next month. So thank you all again for being here, and welcome to your second home, the Embassy of the United Arab Emirates, Villa Durante. Thank you.
Thank you, Ambassador, and thank you again for hosting this event. And I would also like to thank you, the Festival della Diplomazia, who gave us the occasion to reunite all here and discuss. So I will leave to Giorgio Bartolomucci.
Her Excellency Al-Mashi and all the friends that are here today, we are very honored to be again in this embassy after. Okay, just wanted to say that we are very honored to be in this embassy again. We had the opportunity to host, to organize other events in the past, but this year is very important because this is the first event of the Diplomacy Festival 12th edition. So for us, it's a great, great honor. And I think that the friendship that exists since many years between the United Arab Emirates and Italy has found a reinforcement in the project of Dubai Expo 2020. And the presence of so many companies that have been involved in the preparation and the organization of the Italian Pavilion shows that our country is looking to your country with a very great, great friendship sense. And hopefully we will have more opportunity to discuss about possible project of cooperation and project of investment, common investment. I don't want to take so much time from the discussion. Again, Ambassador, thank you very much for the hospitality. And I have to apologize because the festival starting today has 4 events going on at the same time, and I will have to go. I will stay a few minutes more and then I will have to go. So Ambassador, I apologize for not being till the end, but I'm sure that all the works of today will produce maybe future cooperation, and that's also one of the objectives of our festival. Thank you very much, and good work to everybody. Thank you.
Before we leave, I would like to give you this gift. It's the Villa Durante. Very good. If you can. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And I will ask Mr. Liborio Stellino, Deputy Director General for Internationalization, to deliver a speech. And I'm particularly curious to know and to dig a bit on the relationship, economical and institutional, among the two countries. I know that in 2020, which was a very difficult year, the interchange were 8.4 billion between Italy and Emirates.
Which is very
It's very good considering the year.
During the pandemic.
Actually, you are the first supplier for Italy and the first country in the MENA area. So I guess we have a lot to learn from Mr. Stellino.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Dear Ambassador, dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very pleased to be with you today. I thank very much the Festival of Diplomacy to invite me. but I have also bigger emotions in my soul and my heart. Because today I am the Deputy Director for Internationalization, but till 2 years ago I was ambassador in Abu Dhabi, and so I saw this Expo grow little by little, exchanged views with the main architects of this impressive project. So it is really a double pleasure to be with you today. I see also in the program that Commissioner General Paolo Vicenti is going to take the floor after my words. Nobody could describe better than him all the several innovative aspects of our participation. From the orange fibers to the seaweed used in the construction of our pavilion, from the solar coffee machine to the special coating of the building, etc., which make our pavilion one of the most sustainable, smart, cool buildings in the exhibition sites. We provide Dubai Expo with a real and global living experience of circular economy. Let me just say that technological, scientific, and industrial innovation are the distinctive elements of our participation. The pavilion itself is built and digitalized according to a model of sustainability in line with the principles of sustainable development, which inspired the United Nations 2030 agenda and which Italy is trying to carefully follow in many fronts. So everything in our pavilion is a hymn to sustainability. So leaving to Paolo the masterful presentation of the many interesting secrets of our participation, and in order not to duplicate our interventions, I would rather stress other important aspects on the assumption that the Italian participation and commitment to Expo Dubai did not start yesterday, did not start October 1st, 2021. So my first question is, why Italy supported Dubai Expo? And there is indeed this consistent attitude Italy has tried to maintain throughout the last years in ensuring since the beginning the strongest political support to the Dubai project, and now in renewing the moral commitment from the best of our industrial, productive, innovative national ecosystems. It is important to remind that Italy was among the first countries in 2013 to support Dubai's candidacy post-Expo 2020, also placing it before solid ties with other countries. As a personal diplomatic memory, I could tell you the lively reactions that we had in Trieste during the Russia-Italy summit in November 2013. It was just on the eve of the proclamation of Dubai Expo in Paris, and our Russian friends didn't like a lot our preference given to Dubai instead of Yekaterinburg. But why we did it? Because we valued the project and we considered consistent with the importance Italy attached, and attached even more today, to the future of the enlarged Mediterranean, and to the consistent efforts deployed by our government to transform that arc of instability and tension that we can trace between Rome and Dubai, in the Middle East, in possible platforms and locations for a positive agenda in that area. So to place for the first time ever in history a world exhibition in the Middle East represented at that time and represents today a message of hope, global cooperation and confidence in the future coming from an enlightened portion of that tormented region. That UAE, as a unique laboratory of tradition and innovation, coexistence and cooperation among people of different religions, ethnicity and cultures, deserved, in our view, to be at the helm of a Middle East ready to challenge the West not on the basis of hatred and revenge, but on a genuine competition based on advanced technology, on innovation, on the shared search for common solutions to the challenges that stand before us. Exactly the pioneering role that you already mentioned. For the same reason, in 2017, Italy was the first country of the G7 group to formalize its own participation to Expo Dubai. Once again, acknowledging the great and exploring potential of such a message of global cooperation and common trust in the future coming from the UAE. And if we look today at least to one miracle that Dubai has already been able to implement, the presence of an Israeli pavilion in the Arabian Peninsula, I can say that we were right in our initial intuition. So, how Italy and the UAE try to live with a reality like a World Expo. Don't forget that there was a sort of handover between Milan and Dubai. And this was very important. It explains also the heart of our relations that are not only economic. We are very complementary as countries, because if you look inside the trade exchange, you will find that there is not competitions of what we export and what we import from. But this is not the real engine of our relations. There is something more deep. So let's try to identify other similarities between Italy and Dubai in the approach towards a World Expo. When we started to organize the Milan 2015 edition, we faced a real issue. Why events like World Exhibition, born in the 19th century with a legitimate ambition to show mankind the world inside a physical fence, must survive in an age in which the world can be perfectly explored and explained through the screens of our smartphones. This was a clear issue, how to change the nature of Expo in the 21st century. And the answer requires ambition and courage, because we have to create a concept able to transform that physical fence in a floating, flexible, open, unconventional, transitory international organization. Expo has this incredible flexible nature. That's why in spreading all over the world the message of the Milan edition, feeding the planet and energy for life, Expo Milan got in 2012 the status of observer in international events like Rio +20, or in the side events devoted to the food policy and food security that President Obama set up for the G8 in Washington, D.C. at the time. That choice was associated also to a different architecture in the making of Expo. For instance, in Milan, if you remember, for the first time, the BIE, the Bureau of International Exhibition in Paris, accepted upon the Italian request to shift the traditional geographic divisions inside the exhibition site in favor of a stronger thematic approach. Probably you all remember the famous thematic clusters. So not anymore countries gathered in the same building according to their geographic areas, but ready to display their excellencies inside innovative spaces. Coffee, cocoa, the spices, we all remember. So our intention in general was to make of Expo a platform for open discussion, able to move its legacy beyond that semester and to contribute to tackling global challenges. For instance, when we handed over to the Secretary General of the United Nations, Ban Ki-moon, at the time, in the year also, during the midterm Expo, the first draft of the Milan Charter, he read it and he said, I'm very grateful to Italy because here I found exactly all the priorities of my second mandate. And this was really the spirit of our concept. Now, I believe sincerely that Dubai has made a similar courageous decision already when they chose the theme, Connecting Minds, Creating the Future, and especially the courage to say this, that in the Middle East, in the heart of the Middle East. And when they decided to leave to the participants the choice to build their pavilions in thematic areas, mobility, opportunity, sustainability. So throughout the semester, the future semester, such a common understanding will create many fruitful interactions between Italy and UAE, but also other countries, international organizations, and global players In the talks we have been planning in our pavilion, in the high-level participation we are going to assure in many discussions, and in the panels co-chaired by our two countries. So in a word, Italy and UAE in Dubai want to reaffirm the value of a global event like a World Expo, also in our age, and the value of a stronger shared legacy. Expo, I believe that Dubai, more than Italy, understood that it's above all about the legacy. Now, because of these wide efforts and multi-faceted strategy, Italy could not miss the unique chance of bringing the best of our excellence in the Dubai Expo. I want to stress not only the quality partnership that our Commissioner General finalized for the pavilion. I have here Elettronica, Banca, a lot of partners that gave life to our pavilion. But let me stress also in the framework of searching what are the real issues between Italy and UAE in the economic field, the remarkable Italian touches that have marked the making of Dubai 2020. Starting probably from the most impressive creation in the site, the mega dome of Al Wasl Plaza, that I used to call Piazza Italia, because probably not only know that it has been designed and built by an Italian consortium of companies. And don't forget the other important contribution that to create this kind of exchange between our two countries. The Ecker for the metro line in Dubai that bring the people to Expo Dubai. Viva Ticket that is in charge of the ticketing and the access to the site. Ferma Stilizza that realized the covering of the mobility pavilion. Iguzzini for the lighting of several spaces. Many other Italian companies, Symmetrico, Beyond Limits, etc., that are actively involved in building other national pavilions. I don't know how many national pavilions are built by Italian expertise. Expo Dubai, of course, as I already told you, it's not only an extraordinary opportunity for the Italian business, but it is an occasion to put into play our best skill on sustainability, innovation, and creativity. And this is the meaning of the theme chosen for our pavilion, Beauty Connects People, where beauty becomes a special tool for enhancing connection and knowledge. Technological innovation and attention to environmental sustainability are also at the core of our economic promotion activity in the Expo framework. Together with the Italian Trade Agency and the General Commissioner, we have planned a dedicated event called the Innovation Talks, where our companies will show their contribution to tackle global challenges and foster innovation. Sustainable development and green economy, smart cities and eco-friendly infrastructures, food security and nutrition, artificial intelligence and cybersecurity, diagnostic and wellness. Dubai Expo is the perfect platform for the ideal future that our companies embody. These are some of the key topics in which Italian companies continue to drive innovation, and they will be at the center of the talks in a productive framework of an enhanced public-private partnership model. For us, the participation at Expo Dubai is mainly the proof that public and private together can be the best solution for the presence of in a global event like the Expo. The special promotional program planned by our ministry with the Italian Trade Agency and the Commissioner General wants to increase and qualify the participation of Italian companies at the trade fairs planned throughout the Expo semester in the new trade fair center built inside the exhibition site. During the fairs, Italy will organize a series of innovation talks and B2B occasions between economic players and operators coming from the MENASA area, specially invited for the occasion by the Italian Trade Agency. I received today the first enthusiastic cable from our Consul General in Dubai, because a few days ago there was the opening of WETEX, one of the biggest fairs on water, energy and technology, and Italy took part in the fair with the highest number of foreign companies participants, 55. And inside the pavilion, we celebrated the first innovation talk devoted to the Italian proposal on recycling. At the same time, the Italian Pavilion has the ambition to be a cultural hub, in which the values and contents transmitted by art and culture can effectively stimulate intercultural dialogue, tolerance, and solidarity. Therefore, Expo Dubai will be the stage for many top Italian artists, Nicola Pepani, Roberto Bolle, Paolo Fresu, the 100 cellos of Giovanni Sollima, Ludovico Einaudi. I believe we are really taking our best talent to Expo. So it's a global participation, like Italy has a global presence in your country, dear Ambassador. I'm sincerely confident that Italian participation will contribute to the desired success of Expo Dubai, and we will show together to the world that our two countries have a lot still to offer to create a better future for all. Dubai Expo is going to stimulate a further major leap forward to our diversified partnership and cooperation. But as you probably know, and I want to conclude with this optimistic note, and my colleague Giuseppe Scognamiglio will appreciate for sure, Italian Prime Minister, His Excellency Mario Draghi, has recently sent the official letter to Paris of the candidacy of Rome to host the World Expo 2030. So let me ask you to give us good luck from the beginning with an Arrivederci a Roma with the same spirit and the same ambition. Thank you.
Mr. Stellino, very illuminating. We will work out the microphone soon. But I noticed that we have as guest General Massimo Menniti, and if I can, may I ask you words of comments?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to be here. Excellency, ambassadors, as Carabinieri General, it's strange to speak in an environment like this one, but I wanted just to underline how we were able, together with the ambassador, to make things together, to make things happy. Because concerning the Expo, we were able together with Dr. Glisenti as well to put the Carabinieri inside the pavilion to guarantee security information and all the things they need to the people that goes there, to the Italians that go there, that recognize the uniform and probably are more confident in asking for information and for security. And the second thing very important we are doing now, starting on the 23rd of November till the 27th, we will have the Carabinieri Banda, La Banda dei Carabinieri, which already played all over the world, but never in the Emirates. To the Emirates to have a chain of concert in different locations, just to provide good music and to show to your country our friendship and the desire to be together and to develop things together like we are already doing in many sectors in police matters. Thank you very much, Excellency, for the hospitality, and I'm proud to be here. I'm very happy to be here, and it's good that diplomacy sometimes has this eye on the police exchange, which is never so easy. It's never so easy, especially with the northern countries, because they do not understand the role of Carabinieri, which in the Mediterranean actually are very important for us, for the French colleagues, for the Spaniards, for many countries, for many people in the south of the continent. This kind of police is extremely important, extremely close to the population. Thank you very much, and good luck for Expo 2020, Asherin.
May I invite Commissioner Paolo Grisenti to join?
Yes,
With
here I am. Hello,
Connected.
can you hear me?
He's in Dubai. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Hello,
Commissioner
Ambassador. Thank you for-
Grisenti, can you hear us?
Yes, yes, very well. I can hear
I
you
can hear you very well.
Thank you so much, Commissioner. First of all, you are Commissioner for the Italian Pavilion, and with very little understatement, I must say that it's one of the best. I like it very much. And you also are experienced because you led the Italian application for Expo 2015. So can you give us your comments for the first few days of Expo?
Well, thank you, Ambassador, dear friend. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Can you increase the volume? Thank you.
You hear me? Can you hear me now? Hello? I can hear you. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, perfect.
Hello? Hello? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Thank you, Ambassador, for inviting me here. It's always a privilege and an honor to be with you. And I'm glad to, well, Ambassador Stellino told you everything about our pavilion, so I want to add only my first thoughts about what has happened in the first 11 days of Expo. 11 days of Expo is the beginning of a 6 month journey here, so things will evolve and change and become different over there now, but some points are clear already. One is that this Expo, as you all know well, is not the Dubai Expo, not even the United Arab Emirates Expo. It's really a global event. We are in the middle, we opened the Expo in the middle of an area where at a 5 hours flight range live 3.2 billion people of a generation of 30 years, average 30 years old. They will be the main actors of future policy making around the world. They will be the main actors for the new consumer trends. This generation of young people from the whole Mediterranean, the Arab countries, Southeast Asia, North Africa, which really dominate Expo, will dictate the action plan of our governments and the public opinion trends for a long time to come. This is a generation that will leave Expo every day and has really shown up already in great numbers. I remind you that this part of the world is the world that will generate in the next few years the highest demand for education and professionalization, entrepreneurship, skills, and so forth. This is the first item that has become very clear as we opened our doors in Expo 10 days ago. Second issue here is that this is the part of the world most exposed to climate change and what they are called asymmetric shocks for the next few years. So that this is a part of the world where the discussion on issues like climate change, which has been the theme of the first week of Expo, are going to dominate for a long time to come. And again, I'm telling you, this is the generation and these are the visitors that are not going to look at Expo in a passive manner to contemplate the beauty of Expo and the beauty of many pavilions in Expo, really very impressive. But they are here to launch advocacy campaigns. They are here to launch education activities. They're here to launch proposals to policymakers around the world. 2 days after the opening of Expo, when we started our activities in the pavilion, we had one of the Emirati students that went to Milan for the pre-COP26 Youth Summit. She came back and posted on the social media this comment. I went to Milano and I heard somebody saying this is all blah, blah, blah. Then I came back here, I saw the Italian Pavilion, and I tell you, this is not blah, blah, blah. These are facts. And I was very impressed by by this comment, which was it's a sign of the fact that our pavilion and so other pavilions, many other pavilions of participant countries, really are here to show innovation, resilience, sustainability, solutions, outcomes, experiments, and discuss those issues. But let me stay to the point of your meeting today. This is the first global event. It's going to be a major diplomatic event. Diplomacy is at the core of the discussion that we are hosting and we are participating in with other countries. When I talk about diplomacy, I talk about the core anchor theme of everything we face, from climate change to urban regeneration, to space economy, to new innovative agriculture, to health and wellness. All is attached to the concept of a multilateral approach, a multilateral collaborative mode for facing the challenges and facing solution to these challenges. The multilateralism of this Expo is really striking. I think this is going to be the legacy of this Expo, is going to be the multilateralism approach that will really cement here and be a legacy for many, many years to come. Second issue is the intergenerational model. This Expo is going to state clearly that there is only one way of doing it, by engaging the young generation into positive policy-making initiatives. And the intergenerational approach is at the base of all countries' participation in Expo events, initiatives, discussions, and debates. These two issues are going to cut across the 6 months of Expo in a very interesting way. What I noticed yesterday, we had a very important meeting on Africa in the Italian Pavilion and with the UAE. And what I noticed is that usually we discuss about multilateralism versus bilateral relationship. Well, my sense after 10 days is that the bilateral relations, like the bilateral relationship between Italy and the UAE, are part of the multilateral approach. When we discuss Africa development, Africa growth, Africa changing environment yesterday, we clearly made a point that the bilateral relation between Italy and the UAE is a very important component of the cooperation approach with African countries. There is no antagonism again between bilateral relationship and multilateral approach and collaborative mode. The UAE-Italy bilateral relationship is at the base of many global discussion we're having here, because the national approach, the national initiative is part of the multilateral approach. And this has become clear in the first few days of Expo, which I think set the tone and the spirit over the next few months. It's interesting to notice, for example, since we discussed climate change for the first week of Expo, that cooperation, multilateral cooperation, starts from the basic of, for example, risk assessment. It's not only policy making in terms of a strategic approach, but is at the base of how can we share risk assessment process, risk assessment technologies, risk assessment data, big data, to come up with global solutions. And we had a discussion the other day here in our pavilion about ocean observation of sea ecosystem, marine ecosystem, and there were small islands, small Pacific islands represented, small African countries represented here, demanding that the outcome of these innovative technologies enabling us to observe ecosystem changes in the future will be made available also to small islands and small countries that don't have the resources, neither economic resources or technology resources, to participate actively in this process. And the response was unanimously, yes, even you, small countries, small islands in the Caribbean, in the Pacific, and so forth, will access data, big data, will access progress in scientific technologies that will enable us to make better risk assessment in climate change and so forth and so forth. The second thing that came up clearly was private-public cooperation, open science. This has become a core factor of all these discussions here. Open science, I don't hear any more difference and competition between public sector and private sector here, between private companies and private companies. This is something that we thought it might have come clear, but I tell you, it's really a strong message at Expo Dubai. We leave for governments and opinion makers of the next foreseeable future. So, thank the ambassador for the words that he always very kindly expressed when he talks about Italian participation in Expo. But I tell you, Italy is at the front line here in Expo to be part of this bilateral and multilateral mode of collaborating in the future on the major issues facing us, as I mentioned before. So thank you again. And I hope I will have opportunities in the next few weeks to tell you how this is going to progress, what type of proposal are going to come out of Expo, and if this first global event after the pandemic will be, as it promised to be, a milestone in international diplomacy. Thank you very much.
Very useful. Actually, there are many companies already in the Emirates operating, more than 600 companies in several sectors. But the small, medium-sized companies, the local companies, are also attracted. So I will ask from the region, from the Lazio region, Paolo Briganti, to come and illustrate, because I know you are responsible for the Lazio region support to Expo. So please illustrate to us the reaction of the local companies and the interest.
Saluto l'ambasciatore e tutti gli intervenuti a questo appuntamento del Festival della Diplomazia e ringrazio per il cortese invito. Porto qui saluti anche del Presidente e dell'Assessore allo Sviluppo Economico della Regione Lazio. Il tema dell'esposizione, connettere elementi per costruire il futuro, è oggi quanto mai attuale proprio perché rimanda a quella connessione tra i popoli, i paesi, culture, idee che la pandemia ha in qualche modo interrotto, e il riferimento a creare il futuro costituisce una prospettiva ed una speranza dell'avvenire. L'Expo costituisce un'occasione importante per il sistema paese, il luogo strategico per rilanciare il processo di internazionalizzazione delle imprese ed è soprattutto una crocevia tra Oriente e Occidente che offrirà una piattaforma importante per rafforzare le relazioni economico-commerciali con tutti i paesi partecipanti. Il padiglione italiano, come ricordava il commissario Vicenti, a questo proposito è paradigmatico per il concept scelto, la bellezza unisce le persone, e per l'architettura che rappresenta l'identità culturale italiana, con una struttura che ha adottato interventi tecnologici innovativi tali da farla considerare un progetto altamente sostenibile.
I would like to greet the ambassador and all the participants in this event of Diplomacy Festival and thank you for your kind invitation. I also bring with me the greetings of the President and the Councillor for Economic Development of the Lazio region. The theme of the exposition, Connecting Minds, Creating the Future, is as topical today as ever, precisely because it refers to that connection between peoples, countries, cultures, and ideas that the pandemic has somehow interrupted. The reference to creating the future gives a perspective and a hope to the years to come. The Universal Exhibition will be an important opportunity for Italy and a strategic place to relaunch the process of companies' internationalization. Dubai, which over the time has taken on the role of a crossroads between East and West, will be the strategic place for strengthening economic and commercial relations among all the participating countries. The Italian Pavilion is the iconic vision of the concept beauty connects people. The architecture of the pavilion represents Italian and cultural identity, and its project is highly sustainable in terms of the materials used and the technical solutions employed for the structure.
La Regione Lazio, partner del Pavilion Italia, ha sviluppato in collaborazione con il Commissariato Generale di Sezione per l'Expo 2020 un importante palinsesto sui temi dell'Expo, nell'ambito dei quali sono individuati settori di rilevanza strategica che esprimono i maggiori livelli di innovazione, competitività e internazionale e sostenibilità. La Regione Lazio porterà a Dubai i principali progetti di interesse globale correlati con le grandi sfide economiche, sociali e all'insegna della sostenibilità, con il claim cultura e innovazione, sostenibilità e benessere. Il Lazio è eterna scoperta. Il Lazio non è soltanto una regione da scoprire per le sue bellezze artistiche e naturali, per la sua storia millenaria, è una regione ricca di opportunità, dove hanno trovato e trovano ancora oggi spazio le imprese più innovative e i talenti più creativi dalla moda dello spazio alla ricerca scientifica.
The Lazio region, partners of the Italian Pavilion, has developed, in collaboration with the Expo 2020 General Commissioner, an important program schedule on the Expo themes. Some of these, as the highest levels of innovation, international competitiveness, sustainability, are of strategic importance for our region. Lazio region will bring to Dubai the main projects of global interest related to the great economic and social challenges, with sustainability always in mind, and under the claim, culture is innovation, sustainability and well-being. Lazio, eternal discovery. Lazio is a region worth discovering for its artistic and natural beauty and its millenary history, but above all, it is a region rich in opportunities. Here, the most innovative companies and the most creative talents have found and are still finding their place, from fashion to aerospace and scientific research.
Per incentivare questo processo è stato attivato a Dubai un Regional Business Hub proprio per sostenere l'internazionalizzazione e l'export delle imprese laziali. La Regione Lazio è la prima a mettere a disposizione del sistema produttivo un servizio di supporto per le imprese e le start-up interessate ad avviare e consolidare percorsi di internazionalizzazione nei paesi arabi. L'Hub ha una sede fisica presso la Camera del Commercio Italiana negli Emirati Arabi Uniti ed eroga servizi di assistenza, supporto e affiancamento anche in modalità digitale. Il Lazio Regional Business Hub rappresenta la risposta concreta alle esigenze che sono emerse nel lungo percorso di progettazione partecipata e l'incontro verso Expo 2020 Dubai con il mondo imprenditoriale regionale, al quale hanno partecipato quasi 1000 imprese.
To encourage this process, a Lazio Region Business Hub has been set up in Dubai to support the internationalization and export of Lazio companies. The Lazio region is the first to provide a support service to companies and startups interested in starting and consolidating the internationalization processes in Arab countries. The hub has a physical office at the Italian Chamber of Commerce in the United Arab Emirates and provides assistance, support and coaching services on site and online. The Lazio Region Business Hub represents a concrete answer to the needs that emerge from the process of participatory planning and meeting with the regional business world. To this program, called Dreaming Expo 2020 Dubai, participated almost 1,000 companies from Lazio.
Per quanto attiene al palinsesto, la Regione ha organizzato tra gli altri appuntamenti 6 forum di rilevanza internazionale sui temi strategici per l'economia e lo sviluppo regionale che vado brevemente ad esporre. La Regione Lazio come terra dello spazio, nel Lazio infatti da tempo è attiva una filiera produttiva completa, quella dell'industria spaziale, con imprese ad alto contenuto tecnologico e una ricerca scientifica di elevata specializzazione. L'incontro a carattere internazionale prenderà avvio dalla presentazione di Colleferro, città dello spazio 2022, la città di Colleferro, la città del Lazio, e il prossimo anno sarà alla presidenza delle comunità delle Ville Arienne l'Associazione Europea delle Città dello Spazio.
With regard to the program schedule, the region has organized 6 forums of international relevance on strategic themes for the economy and regional development, which I will briefly describe. Lazio region, the land of space. In fact, Lazio has long been home to the complete space industry production chain. The region hosts high-tech companies and a highly specialized scientific research system. The international meeting will start with the presentation of Colleferro, City of Space 2022. Next year, in fact, the city of Colleferro will take over the presidency of the Communauté des Villes Ariane, the European Association of Space Cities.
L'adattamento agli cambiamenti climatici è una delle tematiche trattate rispetto agli eventi estremi sempre più frequenti. Il forum approfondisce i temi legati ai futuri scenari determinati dai cambiamenti climatici. Verranno illustrati servizi, tecnologie finalizzate a strumenti innovativi per l'adattamento intelligente ai cambiamenti climatici nella regione Lazio.
Adaptation to climate change is one of the topics discussed in relation to the increasingly frequent extreme events. The forum explores issues related to the future scenarios caused by climate change and presents services, targeted technologies and innovation tools for smart adaptation to climate change in the Lazio region.
Un altro tema che tratteremo nel forum sarà quello del turismo, che rappresenta un'importante leva strategica per l'Italia. Il forum internazionale intende mostrare il potenziale di attrazione che la regione Lazio può sviluppare rispetto ai viaggiatori dell'area del Golfo e non solo, mettendo al centro Roma, ma raccontando anche gli scenari più suggestivi della regione e le esperienze di potenziali interessi.
Another theme that we will deal with in the forums will be tourism, which represents an important strategic driver for Italy. The International Forum intends to show the potential attraction that the Lazio region can offer to travelers from the Gulf area and beyond. The city of Rome, which is one of the 5 cities preferred by travelers from the non-European elite segment, is the focus, but also the most evocative scenarios of the region and experiences of potential interest will be presented.
Il forum sulla salute e benessere intende presentare il Lazio come territorio in cui forte è lo sviluppo della salute intelligente e verde, in termini di virtualizzazione delle cure, gestione delle emergenze, efficienza energetica e riduzione degli impatti ambientali, innovazione tecnologica e utilizzazione dei processi di automazione e digitalizzazione.
The Forum on Health and Well-being intends to present Lazio as an area in which the development of smart and green health is strong, in terms of virtualization of care, emergency management, energy efficiency and reduction of environmental impacts, technological innovation and process optimization, automation and digitalization.
Nel corso del forum dell'agricoltura di precisione sarà sviluppato il tema sulle nuove tecnologie spaziali per l'osservazione della Terra, tecnologie che permettono il monitoraggio e l'ottimizzazione dell'uso delle risorse e una gestione più sostenibile dei terreni e delle colture.
The Forum on Precision Agriculture will focus on new space technologies for Earth observation, technologies that allow monitoring and optimizing the use of resources and more sustainable land and crop management.
È in programma anche un forum sull'economia del mare, di cui daremo poi dettagli successivamente.
There will be a forum on sea economy and we will give further details later.
E poi il Lazio Day verrà organizzato in corrispondenza con l'evento del Lazio Terra di Cinema, dove si ripercorrerà la storia del Festival del Cinema di Roma, con incontri e contributi dei protagonisti. Si inaugurerà inoltre un'importante mostra sui mestieri del cinema, si proietteranno film e si svolgeranno incontri sul valore della formazione delle arti e mestieri del cinema e con il coinvolgimento di tutto il settore cinematografico della nostra regione.
Lazio Day will be organized in conjunction with the event Lazio Land of Cinema, where the history of the Rome Film Festival will be retracted, with meetings and contributions from the protagonists, with a special focus on the October 2021 edition. In addition, there will be the opening of an important exhibition on the professions of cinema, during which films will be screened and meetings will be held on the value of training in the arts and professions of cinema, with the involvement of the entire cinema sector in our region.
La Regione Lazio può giocare un ruolo veramente importante di traino nei confronti dell'intero Paese. Dobbiamo partire dalla nostra realtà, sfruttando appieno la resilienza del territorio, le potenzialità che il Lazio ha in termini di patrimonio di conoscenza, ricerca, innovazione, cultura e paesaggio, di risorse ambientali e soprattutto sociali, perché il primo driver del cambiamento sono le persone e l'Expo di Dubai è sicuramente in questa direzione un'opportunità da cogliere.
The Lazio region can play a truly important role and act as a driving force for the entire country. We must start from our own reality, fully exploiting the resilience of our territory, the potential that Lazio has in terms of knowledge, research, innovation, culture and landscape, environmental and especially social resources. The first driver of change is people, and the Dubai Expo is certainly an opportunity to be seized.
Thank you so much. We're very proud and comforted that Lazio plays such a big role in Expo. But of course, companies, when working in the Emirates, they need money. They need financial support. So we're pleased to have here the head of International Public Affairs of Intesa San Paolo. I must say that Intesa San Paolo is very present in the Emirates. Actually, Bonelli has an office in Dubai. We're very near. You have a big building, and we see you involved in many infrastructure, local infrastructure, like the financing of the metro line. So we would like to hear more from you. Thank you.
Thank you, Katia. Thank you for your introduction. My name is Hugo Doyle. I run International Public Affairs at Intesa San Paolo. Thank you to the ambassador for his warm hospitality. Well, let me say it took us a few years, back in the 70s, I'm going to start back then, to put the pieces together of our assessment of what was happening in the Middle East. But 6 years after the foundation of the United Arab Emirates, we decided to open a branch of what was then Banca Commerciale Italiana, joined to Intesa San Paolo, and I'm very proud to say that it's 44 years now that we've been having a solid and increasing presence in the Emirates, not only in Dubai but also in Abu Dhabi, and we offer a full-fledged gamut of business possibilities to clients, both Italian and Emirati, and in general international clients of ours. Having both the possibility of doing onshore and offshore banking activities, which is actually unique for Italian banks. But let me also say that we're very proud and happy of the long-standing relationship that we have with Emirati actors, both public and private, on many fronts of economic affairs, but I will focus on one specific area which I think is very important for sure for us, but for the outlook for the world in the coming years, which is sustainability, and in particular our program on circular economy. We are the strategic partner of the Ellen MacArthur Foundation, which is the most authoritative actor that is coordinating on a non-government, I would say, stance the approach towards circular economy. And just before COVID started in early 2020, we signed with the Ministry of the Economy of the United Arab Emirates an important MOU on circular economy matters. Let me just be sure of what my eyes say, because I'm in that transition where I don't know if I have to wear glasses or not. So I will try and see, and you tell me if I need to wear glasses or not. But in any case, this important MOU is focused on supporting the EU leadership, both at the public and at the private level, in its effort to enable a circular economy transformation in the country. Something where we feel that we have developed strong knowledge, and let me thank the ambassador for his support also in the preparation of that MOU when it did happen. And it will, we are in the process of coordinating our inputs together with our friends at the Ministry of the Economy in the Emirates, and we're looking at developing specific initiatives, in particular a dedicated incubator of circular economy, an ad hoc accelerator, an institute, and a lab that will materialize our commitment and the commitment of our friends in the UAE to have a circular economy rolling out in a credible and in a structured way. We are also doing this in Italy, of course. Our efforts on the PNRR, the Resilience and Recovery Plan of the Italian government, rotate significantly. Allow me for the pun. Yeah, they rotate significantly around circular economy, and but it's not only a pun. It's definitely a big focus of our activity and something where we see a credible incentive of both private actors and public actors to focus on initiatives that would be also value-added. Let me now come to Expo Dubai 2020. We are very proud to be sponsoring, together with the Lewis University, as platinum sponsors, the Italian Pavilion. And I will make a little parenthesis to say that our presence in the Expo activities has been going on the wave that we accumulated in Milan, where we had our own Intesa San Paolo Pavilion, a big commitment of the bank that started then, and that has helped both clients on the corporate level and on the retail level to focus on that initiative. And we've been exploiting that those skills that we learned in that very successful Milanese period from October to March of 2015-16, now in Dubai. So these are early days for sure, but we have started with some solid activities rotating again around circular economy. We're having a few seminars lined up that will have important speakers in the international arena that will be focusing on these themes. But there's also a little fun in our presence in the Italian Pavilion. We have structured how can I put it, a virtual conduction of an orchestra where you can try your skills, and I warmly invite you to do that. You will be given a virtual baton, and you will be measured at how effectively you can put together the many needs of an orchestra while keeping the tempo. And this is a metaphor of what a good manager has to be. So when we were presented with this idea, I saw the strong merits in having music composition and music conduction as a metaphor of effective business. I don't think I would ever support instead a metaphor where effective business has to be the key to successful music composition, because that would be quite poor. We have a good colleague and friend of mine who is a composer here in the room. I don't think that he follows managerial standards when composing. But let me just close that quick parenthesis. And the second thing is hologram talks. You will have a series of hologram talks where speakers will be speaking actually live, but as a hologram. So we will make virtual connection even more tangible, if I can use that word, 3D but holographic. And they will be both live and recorded, so we very much look forward to these 6 months on this front and to having you at our stand in the pavilion. And let me just finish off by saying that for sure all roads lead to Rome, and I hope even more so in 2030. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, circular economy, tourism, sustainability all leads to Costa Crociere. Eric Gerritsen, I would really like your comments.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, very happy to be here today. Just 2 words on Costa. Costa is the only Italian flying flagship company. We have 26 vessels under 2 different brands, Costa and Aida, which is for the German markets, just to give you a perspective on that. The cruising market in Europe is worth just less than 50 billion. Of course, I speak pre-COVID. And Italy is both the economic and the thought leader in this sector. The country owns 27% of that, just shy of 50 billion euros. And we need to do everything we can as a country and as a company to keep that up. So when we looked at the question which is being asked by the Diplomacy Festival, of which we are proud sponsors, ready for the unexpected, the answer really lies in a number of things. First of all, it lies in our being part of the Italian Pavilion in Dubai, because we think we will find, not only in the Italian Pavilion, but beyond that, we will find numerous answers to our questions. There are huge challenges which our industry faces in terms of sustainability, in terms of innovation, in terms of engines. And we are sure that by working together in a spirit of strong collaboration, which is different than from what we've been working in the past, which is more about competition, but working in a strong spirit of collaboration, we will be able to bring value to ourselves and to the community at large. When I speak about the community, today we have on average 80, 90 different nationalities on board our ships. And so this is already an interconnection between different cultures and different ways of looking at life. And that's why, again, Dubai is a wonderful crossroad for us to be, and a wonderful place to find new stimuli to what we're looking for. I'd also like to go a little bit more on the product side, because not only will we be looking at Dubai from a corporate standpoint, but also from a product standpoint. So as of mid-December, our new ship, the Costa Firenze, which has been built by Fincantieri and delivered earlier this year, will be traveling to Dubai. It will be staying there for a 6-month period, and we will have various people coming from various nations touring around the area and visiting the pavilion, the Expo, the countries in the region. And that is, of course, already one big element of widening the nature of people's understanding and helping them connect with different cultures. On a more corporate side, we were the first company to introduce LNG, liquefied natural gas, which is a transition fuel. It is not going to be the definite fuel, but it is a transition fuel which clearly pulls down the emissions on a number of key factors. But today we are working, our ambition is to come up with and to have this ship ready by no later than 2040, a ship which has 0 emissions. This is a big challenge today because hydrogen, cell fuels, we know that there are many opportunities, but we are still looking for which is the right one. And again, this is something that we are sure we will find in such a wonderful exposition as Dubai will be. So, just a couple of other thoughts. Ships today look very much like smart cities because all the garbage is recycled, there is water management, the electricity has solar panels, so again, the level of emissions is reduced to the minimum. And I'm just giving you 2 or 3 examples because I don't want to bore you with a long list of elements. So there are things that can be learned from a ship. An average ship has 4,000 passengers and about 1,200 members of crew. So 5,200 people in approximately 300 meters of a ship. And those smart cities can teach real cities some important lessons too. So again, I would really hope that not only do we learn to be ready for the unexpected, because today we know what the challenges are, we have some answers but not all of them, but we also hope that smart cities will be looking at vessels as an example from which to learn something. And finally, I wish you all the great success, the best with Dubai 2020, and also I will keep our fingers crossed for 2030 in Rome. Thank you.
Thank you so much. In effect, I never thought about the boat and the similarity with Smart City, but you're perfectly right. Last but not least, Mr. Lorenzo Benigni from Electronica. Actually, Electronica is a company present in the Emirates since 40 years. So, we're curious to know.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ambassador, ladies and gentlemen. You were right. My company has been in UAE for more than 40 years, and we have a representative office in Abu Dhabi for decades. We have built a solid collaboration relationship based on trust, seriousness, and esteem. The sharing of these values together with the excellence of our products are the key of the success of this collaboration. The privilege that we have that my father and His Highness, they are friends since a lot of time. The Expo is an extraordinary opportunity to allow our country to consolidate their friendship and to enhance the many industrial collaboration. For us, I'm particularly honored of donating this plug to the Ambassador Omar Abaid Al-Shamsi on behalf of the Diplomacy Festival. The Arab Emirates have been chosen by the festival as a reference country this year, both for the long friendship with our country and for the commitments with the Universal Exhibition in Dubai. I'm grateful to donate this symbol of esteem to the Ambassador, also for the story that binds Electronica, my family company, to this extraordinary country for over 40 years. Thank you very much.
Well, we have a lot to think about it, and I'm very glad because I learned so much. But because I see in the public many faces I know representing the biggest company in Italy, I just want to ask if among the public there is any question or any comments. I take it for a no. Well, if there are no questions, I would like to thank you again, the Ambassador of Emirates, for supporting the Festival della Diplomazia, for hosting this event, and I would like to thank all people who have intervened and provided such a speech.
I would also to thank you for moderating this discussion today.
You're very kind. Thank you. Yes, I'm heading the office of Bonelli Rede in Dubai. We opened in 2017 because so many companies are working in the Emirates, and we thought it was strategic to be there. And thank you so much.